Hello, YNABers. My name is Jesse Meekum, and this is podcast number 55 for You Need a Budget, where we teach you 4 rules to help you stop living paycheck to paycheck, get out of debt, and save more money. I had the great honor and privilege to attend my little brother's graduation ceremony from a program called NJEPT, which has no vowels. You insert the vowels as you say all of the consonants. But let me see if I can remember what the acronym stood for. We had a lot of acronyms this last weekend. Euro-NATO Joint Jet Pilot Training Program. I like to call it the Top Gun for student pilots. Anyway, my little brother did that for the last 55 weeks. This is podcast number 55, so how fitting is that? And we got to go on base and hear a debrief that they would do in the morning. We got to see a demonstration of a stand-up where they basically get asked questions and then they're told to sit down when they give the wrong answer. They gave us some pretty nice Texas lunch. It was a really good barbecue. And then we got to tour and see the tower. And we got to see the control room as well. So the control room was what caught my interest. And I've thought about this a lot in the past, but I was seeing all these guys. I felt like I was on an Air Force commercial, honestly, because I'm seeing it's in a dark room. They keep their room nice and dark, has a good ambiance to it. All these computers are going, they're all in these flickering lights. It's very dark, and then you walk in, and then you got all these big terminals, and big screens, and then little blips on the screen, and they were, jets or different aircraft flying. I think anything above 1,000 feet came under their purview, if I remember the guy's explanations. So he said that these air traffic controllers that work for the Air Force, they sit there, and this is a Shepherd Air Force base down in Wichita Falls, and it's pretty busy because they've got all these student pilots, and they've got these planes flying in and out constantly. And they also have a civilian airport attached to it, or a civilian runway, which we flew in and out of. Now, the air traffic controllers, they are watching all these things on the screen, and they set routes for different planes, and they'll, be able to tell them, go, I'm butchering this, go this way, go that way, go higher, go lower, increase your altitude. I think they said that they needed to have 1,000 feet of differential vertically between jets and 3 miles horizontally. And I remember when I was flying back from the Business of Software conference early last month, and I'm staring out the window, bored, and I see this jet fly past us going the other direction, and I'm certain it was probably 3 miles away, and it was probably 1,000 feet lower. But the closure rate was so fast between the two of us, because we're obviously flying in opposite directions, that it startled me. I felt my adrenaline kind of fire just to see a jet fly by us that close. And I realized, man, there are jets flying around us all over the place. We feel like we're just all alone up in the air, but there's so much going on around us, so many variables changing, and it felt kind of cool. And then watching these guys do their jobs was cool. They're sitting there just telling, making little adjustments. Hey, change your bearing this, do that. Go up a little, go down a little, making these little adjustments as information changes. So, of course, as happens to me all the time, I thought of budgeting. And I was thinking about the static budget, which is what we do not preach. No static budget here. And we recognize the fact that you set out on a flight. This jet has a route. Shepherd Air Force Base to wherever. And it changes throughout. And an air traffic controller at any time can gather more information, can see more, can basically have more information than they did at the start when they were planning, and they can make adjustments and tell you, hey, turn a little bit. Hey, go up a little bit, or whatever it is. That is effective budgeting as well. Julie and I have not yet budgeted for November. Mainly, I'm going to say because we were traveling. That's what that's my excuse, but we have not yet done it, hopefully tonight. And we will be able to gather information based on what we have on hand on this day of November 5th. And we'll be able to say, okay, this is our plan. November 10th rolls around and something happens that we could not have foreseen. And it means that we need to adjust our plan, just like these planes need to adjust. And these air traffic controllers see potential collisions or whatever, and they make adjustments so everyone's safe. The guy said that they could even put little bubbles around these jets on the screen and just basically say, hey, don't have the bubbles touch, you know? That's what you want to do with your budget. You do your best, you think everything's fine, and then you have more information, and you realize, oh, wait, given this new information, our plan has to change. I've often said it's like, well, you know, imagine Peyton Manning, who just had another great game. Imagine him in the fourth quarter just sticking to the normal game plan, even though he's got new information. Imagine that team not making any adjustments. We're big Manning fans here. It's happening because he moved so much closer to us, to Denver. So what I want you to do is just realize when you've set up your budget already for November, hopefully, unless you're slacking, which means you'll set it up tonight with the Meekums. But beyond that, just know that you're setting it up. It's not in stone. It's not in sand. It's in like silly putty. Okay? You can see what your plan was, but if you need to change it, you change it. And that is the right and effective thing to do. You are an air traffic controller for your money. And as your money flies around doing its job, taking things from one place to another, you get to sit back there in the darkened control room on an Air Force commercial and be the boss. Tell it exactly what to do, and it will do exactly what you tell it to do. Until next time, follow YNAB's 4 rules, and you will win financially. You have not budgeted like this.